Would you mind to turn those other mics on, please?
How about right there?
Again, my name is Lindsay Lacosto, and I'm the president of the Henderson Chamber of Commerce, and I'm excited to introduce Henderson County High School student Addie Clark here with us today. And I'm going to let Addie just tell a little bit about herself, but I was just talking to her down at the bottom of the stage, and she was saying how she was excited to be here, and being here made her more interested in politics and wanting to get into politics. And as a female in our community, I am so excited to hear that. Hello, gentlemen. But Addie, go ahead and just introduce yourself, and then the candidates will introduce themselves, and you can ask your question.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Addie Clark. I'm a senior at Henderson County High School. I'm currently undecided on where I want to go to college, but I definitely have my top schools, University of Louisville, for example. Like I said, being here does make me want to go into politics. I'm currently deciding, kind of starting my life and what I want to do with my career, but right now it's pre-med. Plan to be a cardiothoracic surgeon would be the big goal. But it's amazing to be here, and I'm happy to be a part of my community.
We will start with candidate introductions, and we are going to do this alphabetically. So first will be Donald Bridges. You have 1 minute for an opening statement. I'm sorry, 30 seconds for opening statement.
Hello, I'm Don Bridges, lifelong resident of Henderson County, former city employee. I feel like I have the experience and the knowledge and the common sense to make Henderson better. I've not trying to reinvent the wheel, but I know I can make it roll smoother. So with my knowledge, and we need to make some changes. So, and I appreciate your vote.
Thank you. Next will be Trey Michael Perkins.
Hello, my name is Trey Michael Perkins, and I'm going to be your next city commissioner with your help. I'm here to be the new young face of the group, and I'm ready to make a change. And I'm glad y'all are making this change with me. Thank you.
Next is Robert Pruitt.
I'm Robert Pruitt, and I'm a 5-term city commissioner, and I'm the current city commissioner, running for my 6th term. I was born and raised here in Henderson. I love Henderson. I grew up nothing but Henderson. I was fortunate to marry my 7th grade sweetheart. We've been married 41 years. God has blessed me with 2 wonderful kids, and I just want to let everybody know that if you get a chance, get into government, try to make wherever you live a better place. That's what I've done.
Jay Randolph.
My name is Jay Randolph. Lifelong resident of Henderson, other than when I left with the military. I have leadership experience both in the military and the private sector. Along with my wife, we started a very successful business here in Henderson, and I would greatly appreciate your vote.
Rodney Thomas.
I'm current city commissioner Rodney Thomas. I'm a lifelong resident here. I have a family business that I've been in for 36 years, rookies and on deck. I'm a 2nd generation owner, and currently my son Quinn will be a 3rd generation owner. So we've invested in Henderson. My wife and I have been here forever, and we intend to stay here. Thank you.
Austin Viles.
Thank you, Eric, Lindsay, and Chamber for putting this event on. It's always a good night to come out and hear all the different views of the candidates. I'm Austin Bowles. Henderson is my hometown. It's where I've lived my entire life, except for 7 years I was away at school for college and law school. I'm married to my high school sweetheart from here also, Sarah Crick. We have a son, Jack Henry, 2 dogs, Louie and Charlie. I've been serving on the City Commission since 2017. I also work as a lawyer in private practice. My law firm I founded in 2011. I also co-founded Henderson Brewing Company, which I continue to own. Thank you to all the candidates as well. Glad to hear from you tonight.
Nick Witt.
Good evening. My name is Nick Witt, running for City Commission, and we greatly appreciate your support in November. A native of Henderson, I moved back here in 2015 after completing my undergrad at the University of Kentucky and law school at the University of Louisville. I am a husband, a father of 2 wonderful girls, ages 9 and 2.5. I volunteer serving on 4 nonprofit boards across our community, a licensed attorney, and I work in the wealth management department of a large regional bank. Thank you.
Dwight Williams.
Hello, my name is Dwight Williams. I'm a native of Henderson. I'm a graduate of Henderson County High School, Henderson Community College right here, and from Western Kentucky University, where I was commissioned as Second Lieutenant United States Army Intelligence Officer, and I spent the next 30 plus years in the Army as an officer and a civilian. This November, I've been married for 30 years to my wife, Jean, who's in the audience, also a retired Army Intelligence Officer. We have 3 children, 5 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild. I, too, am active in the community. I'm on the Henderson Community College Board, the Henderson Airport Board, the Rotary Board, and I'm active in my church's Fraternal Man's Organization. I look forward to serving as your City Commissioner with a focus on sound fiscal management for Henderson's future.
Yes, my question for you first, Donald Bridges, is: we have announced greater than 500 jobs through economic development over the last year. What are the plans to assist with housing, and what other services are impacted by that growth?
All right. First thing, we've got to get more housing in here. We're behind. The other areas around us, surrounding, are building like crazy. There's no new construction hardly going on for housing in Henderson. We need more low-income housing, more middle-class housing. And first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make Henderson business-friendly and expand our search to get some of these companies in here that will come in and build houses, develop land, and get us plenty of housing so we can grow. Right now we're losing population. One of the reasons is we don't have enough affordable housing.
Next we have Trey Michael Perkins.
Yes, housing is also a big issue, but also for us is we have to make a reason for us to stay and move into Henderson. We have upgraded our communities now so people want to build homes and buy homes here in Henderson so we can keep that here and make them look nice and presentable so more people will stay. Because a lot of people most likely will work here but live in Evansville, or work here, go to Eaton County or Owensboro. So we give them an opportunity and show them why we can, not just a job, but show them how beautiful our community is and make them have to build a home here and start a family here. That will make them stay. So that will be the main thing my goals will do. Thank you.
Next we have Robert N. Pruitt.
Yeah, I know for a fact that we have done a great job with this commission the last 4 years. We are adding on 300 new homes out there behind Walmart. So when someone says there's no new building going on, maybe they haven't taken a drive out there and see what's going on behind Walmart. That is a new subdivision that will house 300 new homes. We brought in a new industry with Pratt that's going to bring in hundreds of new people making over $60,000 a year. Hamilton's on the move. We're on the growth. More jobs are coming in. If you look count of the investments that we had just collected this year in manufacturing, we're looking at close to $700,000 worth of new investment coming right here in Henderson. And one thing we have to do to bring our kids so when they graduate, they can come back home is make sure our salaries are high enough so they can have a great living and economy, so they can support their kids and be able to take vacations, buy new cars and new homes. Is that's to get the rate of pay up, and Pratt starts off at like $35 an hour, which gets you up to about $60 or $60,000 a year. So our commission has done a great job, and we're on the move, and we're going to continue.
Next, I've got Jay Randolph.
We keep talking about housing, but we're not talking about affordable housing. You know, jobs are great, but without affordable housing, those jobs mean that people are going to move to different areas, and Henderson's going to lose that income. We also need to, which was touched on earlier, we need to be able to provide certain things that we are lacking in this city. And mental health care is one of them. You know, it is a big issue that we deal with now. And the ability for people to receive that service without a substantial cost does not exist. So we can bring in jobs, but if we're not providing just the basic necessities, then, you know, the jobs are great, but we're not bringing in the revenue that we need for the community.
Next, can I hear from Rodney Thomas?
Yes, affordable housing is a big issue, and it's being helped by Habitat. Currently, houses that are we're condemning them and selling them on the courthouse steps, and Habitat's been stepping in and buying a bunch of those and converting them into housing. But it's just a drop in the bucket of what we really need. As Robert said, we have 300 new homes coming in here. It will be announced here shortly, and that's going to help tremendously, because with these new jobs, if we don't keep the people in Henderson, if they go to Newburgh or Evansville, we're going to lose that tax revenue. So we have to keep them here. We have to stay on top of this, and we have to help our existing builders. We've been looking at subdivision areas where we can add new subdivisions, but we have to make their financial commitment starting out is tremendous, and a lot of them are at the age they really don't want to commit that much money. So we as a city have to help them front load those costs and make our money on the back end, so we can help them want to invest and make it feasible for them to invest.
Next, can I hear from Austin P. Fowles?
Thank you. So the city looked at a list of, I think it was 13 different priorities. About this time last year, the City Commission ranked those priorities, tried to figure out what was most important. And housing, I can't remember if it came in number 1 or number 2. Something we certainly recognized as an issue we needed to tackle right away. The other top issue, I think, ended up being Pratt and making sure that all came to fruition. But with housing, with what you've already heard a little bit about, the city has actually got about 100 acres right behind Walmart right now. And there's still some negotiations going on with developers to turn that into residential single-family homes. You'll see about 86 acres of that developed into residential single-family homes. You will see another significant portion of it available for commercial property. It's a pretty exciting deal, and it's a big move by the city that we've done this. I don't think I've seen anything like it in my time, so it's something we're really, really excited about. Thank you.
Lastly, we have Nick Witt.
I appreciate the question in terms of the amount of jobs coming in, and certainly everybody that's been involved in that should be commended for sure, and I know it's a team effort, so congrats to everybody involved. As we talk about the jobs coming in, though, I think it's important to realize kind of where we are, and kind of fact check that a little bit in terms of from the first quarter of 2016 to the first quarter of 2022, as a community, we have lost 9.4% people employed within Henderson County. That's 1,888 jobs. Certainly these jobs will be important to replace a portion of those jobs where people aren't working for whatever reason or have moved from our community. But I think that's important to keep in mind. With that being said, certainly the increase of new jobs in this community hopefully will continue. And the momentum is something that we should definitely support and get behind. And as Rodney and some others have said, the ability to sit down with developers, which it sounds like the city's already done to a large extent, but to continue doing that and listening to the needs of developers and making sure that whatever needs they have are being addressed. The idea of affordable housing is certainly not lost on me. I'm the president of the board for our Habitat for Humanity, and the city has been a tremendous partner, as they've alluded to, in terms of condemning properties and allowing Habitat going in and rehabilitating those areas. And that's certainly something that's important, not only for affordable housing, but it's also important for the tax base in terms of building property taxes and really helping areas and giving people a new sense of pride in terms of owning houses. So, with the increase in new jobs, housing is affordable, is very important, as Jay alluded to as well. The mental health of people and everything that really comes involved in terms of bringing in new jobs into the community really needs to be looked at.
Dwight E. Williams.
Thank you. Well, as you heard, housing is a problem, one of the major problems. We do need to develop more residential areas, perhaps look at our existing subdivisions and see if they can be further developed. And as some people have said here tonight, we'll work with our local contractors and perhaps some private investors, encourage them to build some homes and make incentives for them to build. We're going to experience a substantial increase in the needs for utilities, water, sewer, gas, and electrical, and some of our lines are pretty old already. That's going to be a huge demand on Henderson, and we need to be looking at that. Of course, internet's always a problem here in Henderson. We need more better internet and sanitation. I'm a little concerned with our dump is almost filled, I understand, and if we had 500 more jobs and all these new businesses, it's great, but sanitation services for Henderson needs something that we need to look at. Overall, I think we need just a unified approach, working with the county to seek federal grants and to improve our infrastructure and have a dedicated team that looks at the future requirements based on our population growth and services so we can look at what's best for the businesses and our residents in Henderson.
Very good. Addie Clark, thank you for your help tonight. Great job. Everybody give it her a round. Our next question is, what is your personal vision for the city? And we'll continue this rotation of moving to the alphabetical order second with Trey Michael Perkins going first.
Thank you very much. My vision here for Henderson County is to keep people my age and younger in Henderson County. That is the goal. By the time we all said it at 18, I'm guilty of it too. Man, as soon as I get enough money, I'm out of here. Can't wait to get out of here. There's nothing for us. The older generation doesn't like us. They don't think we can do anything. I'm going to show them we can do something different in a different city. And I'm like, now as I got older, I still have that mindset, but the only thing different is, you can't make me leave. I'm here. I'm here to stay, and I'm here to make this city beautiful and make it grow. And I want everybody at the young age to do that as well. And the older generation, I want to show you that even though we're young, we're here to make a difference. Y'all started this platform. I'm going to add some more to it so I can lay a nice foundation for the next generation behind me so they can blow us all away with what their next ideas are going to have for the city. Thank you.
Robert Pruitt.
I was a member of the board that would help write the comprehensive plan for the next 20 to 25 years for Henderson. Some of those things that we put in the comprehensive plan was new development, new residential subdivisions, better recreational facilities, things like that. And so one of those things was a new subdivision, which we're doing now with over 300, and hopefully we're going to expand it to 500 new homes. New recreational facility. What we did, we got rid of the 9-hole golf course. Now we got an 18-hole golf course. We done that. Now we adding on a new sports complex. That's something for the kids. We want to make sure our kids have the best sports facilities compared to none. That new sports complex is going to cost somewhere in the neighborhood $12, maybe to $18 million time we get through with it. We're doing the things to make sure that when you grow up and you graduate, that you want to bring your family back to Henderson. We got economic jobs. We want jobs that's going to start paying $60,000 and we got that. So those are the type of things that we've been doing and that I've been a part of, and that's what I'm going to continue to see happen for Henderson.
Jay Randolph.
Personal vision for the city. You know, I want to see the city grow in revenue, but we've touched on it. To do that, we have to have the jobs and affordable housing. We also need to look at providing safety and security for our citizens. You know, our law enforcement numbers, as far as employed, are way down. Unfortunately, we've bartered with our law enforcement agencies. You know, and crimes are increasing. The one crime that increased from 2020 to 2021 was domestic violence calls. 1,221 calls above average. 3 years ago, unfortunately, I lost my daughter to domestic violence, and I started getting involved a lot more in city things. And in 3 years, I found a lot of things that are actually lacking in this city that we really need to improve. You know, so I want to, my vision for the city is to improve on all of those things. Plus, I feel that we need to get more minorities and women involved in politics, involved in leadership roles, so that we can grow not just as a city, but as a community together.
Rodney Thomas.
My personal vision, I've been here for 60 years, and I've never been as excited as I am now. I mean, this city for years and years and years, we stayed stagnant. And now all of a sudden, we've got new business coming in. Great businesses that offer careers, not just jobs, careers to our young people. This makes me excited for the future. We've got housing coming in. We've got a thriving downtown. I sat there for years and years in rookies, and I was the only one there. And I won a competition. We finally got it, and guess what happened? It exploded. The downtown is busy every single night. And there's no reason we can't go to the East End and do the same thing there within 5 years and see what can happen, which is young people investing. I was in a meeting last week, early morning, a meeting about bringing a hotel downtown. And I'm sitting around, there's 20 people in this room, and there's 3 couples in there, not from here. They moved here because they came to our city and fell in love with the people. And they all, 3 couples from out of town moved here because they loved us. They started businesses here. All of a sudden, people are discovering Henderson. And we're going to continue to grow, and we're going to get bigger and bigger and better and better. And I'm excited to see this.
Austin Mark.
So I probably sound like a broken record because I've been saying the same thing since 2016. My priorities for the city haven't changed. Number 1, safety. Number 2, the economy. And number 3, continuing to build Henderson. My goal on the commission has always been to make Henderson a better place to live, work, and visit. What that comes down to is trying to improve our citizens' quality of life. However we can. First and foremost, we have to be safe. That means we give our police, our fire, our utilities what they need to continue operating smoothly. Second, how can we improve the economy? We've tried to do that by going through our codes and trying to make adjustments, make it easier to do business in Henderson. That task is far from over. There's still more to do, and the more people that are involved to point out the changes that can be made, the better. Third, I continue supporting to build Henderson. We've done that so far by working on things like the sports complex, which should start construction very soon, the Perch Park, the Sunset Entertainment District that should be launching very soon, the Bridges Golf Course, funding New Works, nonprofit organization focused on Henderson's East End, repurposing municipal golf course. It's used now for cross-country track. We're moving Hempel to make room for other developments downtown. We have fixed and improved the East End Park and spray pads. We've fixed the downtown water fountains. We continue to build sidewalks, fix roads. We need to get the I-69 bridge built. Going forward, some things I'd like to continue exploring. A stronger commercial district in the East End, an aquatic center, a downtown events center, attracting hotels downtown and along I-69, attracting a distillery. We have a pretty big wish list. I'd like to see it come true. Thanks.
My vision for Henderson is one of safety, to emphasize building our economy. As I mentioned, I think kudos to everybody who's been involved, because the economy is definitely trending in the right direction. I would like to see an entrepreneurship space. I know we had one. I would love to see that come back and fund that. I think it's obviously perhaps easier to get people who are from here to build jobs here. I know we're very, it's hard to be competitive against other communities trying to attract new jobs. So if we could have people here develop new jobs, obviously that's a plus. In terms of our youth, giving them more things to be involved in, the recent announcement of the sports complex is something certainly in that direction. But one thing I think that nobody's really discussed tonight, something that really gets overlooked, especially for me as someone with 2 children, is childcare. Childcare is severely lacking in our communities, lacking in every community, but there's no reason why Henderson can't lead the front in that. A recent study showed in the state of Kentucky that lack of childcare costs the economy in Kentucky over $550 million a year. I got to think, for Henderson, that's also true in terms of the cost to our economy. I know a lot of people that would love to participate in the economy and work, but unfortunately can't find childcare for their children. Our children are lucky enough to go to Busy Bees, and it's a great facility, but the city needs to try to work to ways, whether that's private, public, or cooperatives, or the gifting of land, or incentives like we do for big businesses, to also do for childcare, to try to get childcare providers here within our community. And last would be transparency. Everybody wants a government that they can trust. City commission meetings right now are during the day. I'll be honest, I can't even attend them through work. So let's make that, I think it's important to not only tell people what's going to be voted on, but to allow them the ability to come and hear what's going to be voted on. And then once you vote, explain why you voted on that. And I think as more people become more trustworthy of the government, they certainly will get more behind as well. Thank you.
I want to see Henderson grow. I want to see us create new jobs, good paying jobs for our children, and manage our resources wisely. And as we grow, we have to be sure there's not any unintended consequences like the I-69. It's a great improvement for us, but we have to make sure that the businesses and the employees on the strip, 41 Strip, don't get harmed. I want to see Henderson that is safe, where our kids can ride their bikes to the store again without fear. I want employees and our children to be paid good wages to compete with the local community, so they will stay here in Henderson. I want our kids' education to be the best possible in Kentucky, and that will prepare them to be responsible and productive adults. I want to see our infrastructure improve to support the growth of our community and entice new businesses to move here. And lastly, I want to see fair, honest, and dedicated city and county leaders that will guide us to these goals. That is my vision for Henderson.
My vision for Henderson is I'd like to see more community involvement. I appreciate everybody coming out tonight, but I really would have liked to see this place full. Our problem, that's one of my visions, is, like I said, to get more community involvement. I'd like to see our commission meetings maybe become remote, get out in the communities, get people to come in, talk to everybody, get up there and say what kind of problems they're having, one-on-one. Right now, like, the commission meetings are, 4 o'clock? Most people are working. I'd like to see, they talk about going into the East End, but a lot of times after the election, the East End's still the East End. It's got a drug problem we've got to address. There's too much blight. We've got to get some more habitat houses in there, building. That's one of the things that I'm pushing really hard. I'm not running for personal gain. I've already said that if I get elected, I'll give my commission pay to nonprofits, Habitat, Christian Outreach. We've got such a great location here. We've got river, major rail, interstate. We just need high-paying jobs. We need to get the medium income raised up and get Henderson moving. Thank you.
All right, next question. When we look at workforce and education programs such as the HCC partnership with the Housing District for Welders that has proven so successful, what are some other programs that should be pursued? This one we will start with Robert Pruitt.
Henderson Community College, the welding program has done a great job. What we need to do is for the seniors who are not going to college is to connect them with our union and our industrial people who are electricians, carpenters, and hook them up with what we call mentorships to teach them how to be electricians, teach them how to be painters, teach them how to frame housing. And the city can help partner with that. If we can put funds in that so that the people that take them on, if they reach a certain number of days and learn a certain number of skills, that we can give them a certain stipend so that when they get to that number, that so they can go out on their own, start their own businesses, and help Henderson continue to grow. We can do all kind of things that working with plumbers. There's plumbers that need young guys who teach them how to become plumbers. The tech field is wide open, but what we need to do is make sure we have a strong partnership with the city government and county schools, so that seniors who are not planning on going to college, that we can have a program to send you right into it so you can learn a skill to support your family and make a great living in the city of Henderson.
Thank you. Jay Randolph?
We need to look at things we used to do. My sister-in-law actually attended college here, graduated as a nurse. She signed a 2-year contract with the Methodist Hospital at the time, and as long as she kept a C average, they actually paid for her to go to college. We do co-oping at the high school, so, you know, what Mr. Pruitt just mentioned, we definitely need to get into the apprenticeship and the journeyman programs. You know, we talk about income and jobs. You know, a lot of these technical jobs, a lot of these vocational skills, they pay higher than a 2-year college degree. You know, and I can tell you, I have a degree in IT computer networking, and instead of going into that field, I created a carpet cleaning business and did very, very well. We need to promote technical and vocational jobs so that we do reach the children that are not going to go to college, because, you know, my daughter she actually got accepted into the nursing program here, and then my next 2 sons, they're not college material. You know, one of them works at Dana, the other one is pursuing a technical degree, and then my youngest son, you know, he's a genius. He'll go to college, but we often, even when I was growing up, we pushed college. We cannot do that anymore. We have to get back into the vocational and the technical degrees, and that's where we will help a large majority of our students.
Rodney Thomas?
I agree with what Jay just said right there. I graduated from Western with a business degree, went into bar business. My son graduated UK with a finance degree, came into the restaurant business, $100,000 in debt. So somehow we have to convince our juniors and seniors that they don't have to go to college. It doesn't make them dumb. It makes them smart. They go to college, and HCC out here has a great program going. They can come straight out of high school into here. We have nursing. We have industrial maintenance. I just found out they just got robotics equipment, and they got more coming, so they'll be able to do customized robotics soon. So we have to get them out here in these classes. Because if you get the kids coming out in 1 or 2 years, going to a $50,000, $60,000 job, driving that brand new truck, owning that new boat, what do you think these other 17, 18-year-old kids would be looking at? Why the heck am I going to go to college? No, Mom, I'm going out here, I'm getting a job immediately. If you keep these kids here, they're going to stay here. They're going to raise their families here. They're going to buy a home here. They're going to pay taxes here. They're going to have their children here. And if we keep their children here, guess where grandparents are going when they have grandkids? Nowhere. They're staying right here. So we have to invest in these kids, and we have to somehow convince them that they don't have to go to four-year college. Now, granted, there's a lot of them that need to go to four-year college. They're going to advanced careers, specialized fields. But the ones that don't need to, stay here, get a job. We got the jobs available in their job, not jobs, they are careers.
Austin Bowles.
So I'll tell you, I think Henderson Community College has some really great programs right now. The FAME program, where you can earn money and earn a degree at the same time, it's really neat. You've got the nursing program. My wife is the director of that, so it's kind of near and dear to my heart. But they're producing great nurses. They're staffing medical facilities, not just in Henderson, but all over the region. So the more programs like that we can have, the better. One thing I think it's important for us as a city to do, although we're not directly involved in a lot of educational stuff, is to keep our ears open and work with our economic development agency to work with our industry partners to figure out what kind of jobs do you need, what kind of people can you employ and give good jobs to. That's who we need to keep training at our community college. We need to be churning them out because, if you're looking for a job and you can go to a program for a year and then get a great paying job at Pratt Industries, that's a good path. I think we have to keep that first and foremost. From the city perspective, I think as a city, we've been really good at collaborating with anybody who needs us. So we're here, we're here for Dr. Warren. If you need us, let us know. We're happy to help. Thanks.
Nick Witt.
I think it's important to continue to promote and support the FAME program, as we mentioned a little bit tonight. If you don't know more about it, definitely check it out as the board chair for United Way and as being on the Community Investment Committee for a number of years. The amount of jobs that are created through the FAME program is definitely very vital to our community. So if you have the financial means to support that organization and co-op, definitely do so. And we need to promote new co-ops that kind of existed for that same purpose. We're here at the Henderson Community College, and Dr. Ward has done a tremendous job, as everybody's alluded to, and he deserves all the credit and respect in the world for all the great programs that he's bringing in and the way he's really equipping this college to teach the future of our community. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but without childcare, you can't have a workforce. If you can't have somewhere to take your children, then you can't go to work. And I think that's a continuing piece that, as I mentioned before, we definitely need to address. Along the same lines, it's sitting down with companies. I know we are doing that and continue to do that to see what their future needs may be. Thank you.
Dwight Williams.
When I talk to some of my electrician and plumbing friends, that's the first thing they say. They wish the community college had a plumbing and electrical apprenticeship program like we do for robotics and some of these other programs that we have. So I would tell you, electricians and plumbing, and I think the two areas that community college should look at. Advanced computer skills, and not just computer skills, but automation, maybe artificial intelligence type training as well. State-of-the-art stuff that these companies will need to run their factories. The robotics lab that's been discussed is doing great out here. I think we're in the hundreds of thousands of dollars on that program, and perhaps going ahead and expanding that robotics program and going beyond that. And these are the skills I think Henderson Community College ought to looking into in the future.
Dr. Bridges.
Yes, I commend the community college here. It's been 40 years since I graduated high school, and I can remember it just being the little college on the hill back then, and it's become so much more. I mean, it's vital to our community. And the welding program, yes, that was great. It has really benefited businesses, given a lot of high-paying jobs to a lot of individuals. Some of the folks already said, electricians, but linemen, there's so much need for a lineman, and some of the highest paying jobs around. We've got several utility companies around here. I know a lot of linemen that are making around $100,000 a year. I mean, those skills, and a lot of our youth that are working here has went off somewhere to a lineman school, and also pipe fitters, plumbers. That's something that would benefit our community and bring a lot of, more higher paying jobs, which they're going to spend more money. And so that's some of the things that, plus technology, and you can't understate, the need for education. We got to have education, but technology, and then some of the skill jobs like you're talking about, that would be some of the needs that I think should be brought up.
Trey, Michael Perkins?
Yes, one of the biggest programs I can recommend for anybody for here is how to present yourself into an interview and introduce yourself into the crowd. All these jobs that everybody been saying are great, all linemen, electricians, plumbers, but how do we teach our young generation how to get those jobs besides just going there to have an interview, how to sit down and process, how to tie a tie? These are the programs that we need to be investing to our young people now. So when they get into these other programs, they just said, they can go in there with confidence saying, hi, my name is Trey Perkins, I can like to have this job. Here is my resume. Fill out a resume. Teach these young kids how to build themselves up and pretty much, I hate the word say sell themselves, but pretty much is what it is in this case, sell themselves into the workforce to show them I'm capable for this job. You're going to need me for this job. I can do this job to the best of my abilities. So that, those are the community, those are the programs I want, not just in schools and community colleges, just in local programs that we can start in our own communities. Those would be the best things we can do. Showing these young kids how to wear a suit jacket, wear a tie, sit up straight. To show young ladies how to prop yourself in and use your abilities and use your brain to show that you're just more than just another statistic. Thank you.
In the spirit of time, that will wrap up our questions. We'll now move to closing comments, and we'll start back in the order we began with for opening comments with Dr. Bridges.
Okay. Like I said, I'd like you to consider me, because of my experience, I'm looking for a better Henderson for everybody. One of my slogans, or my slogan is represent everyone. I want to make sure that everyone is represented, from the people on the east end to the people in Greystone. I mean, everywhere in between. Like I said, we've got a great city. We just got to build our population back up. We got to get more jobs. And like I said, I'm running to be your civil servant. I'm not running for personal gain. And so I appreciate the vote. Thank you.
Trey, Michael Perkins.
Being the youngest one on this platform in this race shows me that I can give hope to the next generation behind me as well. Also, I love the city. I was born and raised here. I have great peers, as you can see, they're all role models to me, even out here in the crowd as well. And I can't wait to be that next one. So with your help, I can do that. And with your help, we can change Henderson together and bring the perks that he deserves. Thank you.
Robert Pruitt.
I'm Robert Pruitt, and I just want to say that most of you people know me. I was born and raised here. I have served in the last 9 mayor administrations. The reason why I got into politics was because I felt like so many other people that we had a dishonest government. It didn't work for everybody, and I want to get in it to make sure it did. Well, I can truly say over the last 2 terms that the people that I've served with, Brad, Austin, and Rodney, we've got an honest government. We have given Henderson an honest government. And what I want to say is that when you see my slogan, I got your back, for the last 10 years, I've had your back. I've spoke up to make sure that everybody knows that the government works for the citizens of Henderson. The citizens of Henderson do not work for the government. The money that you make, you should use that for you and your family, and the government should only take what it needs so that you have a better life for you and your kids. And that's why I'm running for re-election, and I would ask humbly for your vote November the 8th. Thank you.
Jay Randolph.
First off, I want to thank everybody that showed up, and I want to thank all the other candidates up here. You have 8 candidates that you can choose from. Hopefully, we've answered some of your questions. I am running because, like I said, I've seen a lot of discrepancies in what we're told and what is factual. There are things that need to be fixed in this city, and I think that I could greatly do those things for this community. And I really would appreciate your vote November the 8th. Thank you.
Rodney Thomas.
I love this city. I love Henderson, Kentucky. Been here all my life. The reason I got into this job is because my family, we made a good living off this community for 40 years. And I feel like if you do that, you have to give back to the community. So I took this position. I'm not a politician. I'm just a regular Joe. But I took this position to make this city better. And I have one goal, and when a vote comes up, if it makes the city better for our children, I'm in favor of it. If it's a short-term fix for a long-term problem, I'm probably out. So please, let me continue this ride. This city is on the cusp of something great. We're going to see it in the next 5 years. I mean, we're going to explode. So hit your wagons up and come on for the ride.
Austin Dowles.
Say thank you again to the Chamber for having this event tonight. I want to say I appreciate the current commission we have too. I think we really are on a roll, and that's not just us by any means. What you've got to do is look at City Manager Buzzy Newman, the leader of our Economic Development Agency, Missy Vanderpool, Lindsay LaCosta running our chamber, Tom Williams with our water department. We have somewhat of a dream team running the city right now, and it's been really impressive to watch them work and see what we can all get done together. I appreciate everybody else who is running to join us or to replace us. I know your hearts are all in the right places, and I'm glad you're here and fighting for our city. For everybody out there listening, thank you so much for listening through this. Thanks for hearing us out. If you want to talk to me more about anything, I'm always happy to hear you out as well. Greatly appreciate everybody's vote on Election Day. Thank you.
Nick Witt.
Thank you each for taking the time to come out tonight and listen to us, and obviously a bunch of varying degrees of backgrounds, but all of our good ideas about how to move Henderson forward. For more information about my campaign, please feel free to visit my website, www.witforhenderson.com, or my Facebook page @WitForHenderson. Thank you.
Dwight Williams.
Again, thank you for the invitation tonight. It's been nice to be here. As your city commissioner, I would be fair, honest, and transparent. I believe my 30 years as a military officer, commanding battalions and brigades with hundreds of people, millions of dollars of contract and equipment will serve me well to be your next city commissioner. I will also ensure that your tax dollars are spent wisely. Again, thank you for being here, and I ask for your vote this November.
Thank you, gentlemen. And thank you to all of our candidates that have joined us tonight. What's that? Good? Thank you to all of our candidates that have joined us here tonight. And thank you, Dr. Warren, Henderson Community College, the Preston Arts Center, WSON for the live stream, and all of you here in attendance and all of you watching at home, thank you for choosing to be informed with us tonight. Again, let's give everyone one more round of applause. And candidates, I just want to say to all of the candidates tonight, thank you for putting your name on the ballot. I know it's time away from your families, but it's because you know that you care about our community and love our community, and I wish everybody the best of luck, and thank you all so much for being here. And I hope to see everyone out tomorrow night, so 6 to 8 p.m. Doors open again at 5. We will again be live streaming. Those of you that won't be here, remember to get out and vote Tuesday, November 8th. Thank you all so much. Drive home safely.